Morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. Now, today, I'm going to be working out of a book. The book is called 50 Ways of Syncopation by Don Moyle, and it's got 50 ways that you can do limb independence with different charts, like the 20 charts in Dom's book, or the 55 charts on my YouTube channel. Now, the way that I'm practicing limb independence is largely based off of Gary Chester's idea of limb interdependence in New Breed 1 and New Breed 2. Now, in these practice streams, I like to share the raw, unfiltered, here's what I'm doing to try and improve. This is kind of like office hours where I'm literally just practicing stuff I'm not good at yet, and people can stop in and ask me questions. Because I've been drumming for almost 30 years, and because I've taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I'll get questions about how to improve as a performer and how to improve as an educator, and I'll often edit those answers and put them into this drumming tips playlist that has over 15 hours of free drumming tips, as well as over 100 videos in here. The first thing that I talk about is whatever the title is. So like 79 talks about how to improve sight reading. And if it says, and other drumming tips, or and other teaching tips, that means there are more topics in there that are not related to how to improve sight reading. So if you're not interested in the title, check the timestamps in the description of each one of the videos, and it might give you some tips that you are interested in. Now, because I've spent less than 1% of my practice time doing drum kit, I'm not good at limb independence yet, so I've got Shia LaBeouf here, who's going to help me out to improve my limb independence. So, Shia, help motivate me, because I'm not good, and I just don't really feel like practicing today. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. I have no idea what he's holding. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, wow, Shia LaBeouf. I am tired of starting over. Thank you so much for the motivation. That extra flex just makes me want to work on limb independence so much more. So this spreadsheet, I've taken Don Moyle's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation, the one that I held up at the beginning, and I've put them into this spreadsheet that keeps track of how am I doing across all of these. So, for example, number 2 is like your very basic how you'd read through like a jazz chart where a ding, 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 ding. You put eighth notes on the snare drum, and anything longer that you put on the bass drum. So this is your typical short long. Etc. Okay? So across all the most recent times that I played this in the last year or so, on average, my quality of playing is in column A, which is technically proficient. And so what I'm doing is I'm skipping all of the ones that are either musical or technically proficient, because those sound fine. And I'm instead focusing on the ones that don't sound fine. So we're skipping all the way to 41.1, which is a variation of 41. And it is the one that I just put on the screen. So this pattern we're warming up with, it's a doozy. So we're playing 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, okay? So that's all you're doing between your right side of your body. But you're putting hi-hat on 2 and 4. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. While you read through charts with your left hand. Okay, so that's the plan at least. Is it going to go good? I don't know. It's kind of been hit and miss lately. Okay, so we're going to do this at 90 today. Thank you for the like on YouTube horizontal. So 90 beats a minute, because the last time it was out of control at 95. So we're going to go 5 clicks slower than we did last time. And we'll see how we do with this in warm-up. Now, on my home tab of YouTube, I've got all of these different like sections for the different types of music that you can practice. But if you go to jaredoleary.com/drum, it takes you to here. So it's the first link at the top of all the 2,000 plus play-alongs. And it's organized neater than what I can do on YouTube. So there's 77 chop exercises just in this little section right here. In fact, I'm going to be adding in 3 more shopping sprees later on today. Stay tuned. We've got over 1,000 grid variations in here if you do rudimental stuff. I'll come back to limb independence in a second. Just under 500 marching bass stuff. I'd focus on the timing exercises and then splits timing. This one simulates what it's like to practice on the bass line without actually having a bass line with you. You'll see when you actually go through some of those. There's a bunch of drumline cadences in here. There's almost 400 technique exercises. So you can work on your 5-stroke roll timing. You can work on dynamics. You can work on endurance and speed. Just click on a playlist header that looks interesting, like one of these titles, and then just like try out some of the exercises in there. There's a ton of exercises in each of these. For example, in this axe and tap one, there are 56 videos inside of here. And any of the ones that say members first are coming out for free, so they're not behind like a permanent paywall or anything. And then also at the very bottom of here, there's tips and lessons. There's over 15 hours of tips and lessons in here. Here's the scripted stuff, like how to hold traditional grip, or like what to do in 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 5 hours after drumming. But this playlist, the drumming tips one, this one has the 15 plus hours of tips in here if you're interested in it. And if you scroll down, there's some product reviews, not sponsored, and then some goofiness with like AI drumming and whatnot. So check those out if you're interested in it. Now, today I'm working on limb independence. And because I'm playing a straight chart at 90, I'm going to go to this row, which is the straight charts. But there's also this row right here, which is the exact same 55 charts, but it's swung. And we're doing at 90, so we're going to go into here. I'm just going to go to a random set of charts. Thank you for the like. So we're going to go to this, and that is not the resolution that I would like. Thank you, YouTube. In the timestamps of all of these 2,000 plus free play-alongs, you can jump to any BPM one click at a time. So if you want to play this at 92, I got you. If you want to play this at 44, I got you. Okay, so I'm going to do this at 90. Whoop. And it's going to count off in my headphones. It's muted on your end, but there is a play-along. You'll hear it when you practice with it. We're going to try the ostinato pattern. 1, 2, ready, and good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay, so this is the pattern that is going to continue. We're going to read the chart with the left hand on the snare drum while continuing to play this ostinato pattern. Wish me luck. I did not do good on this last time. 1, 2, ready, and... Thank you for the like. Read that wrong. Okay, so I left off one note. What was that, like the 4th line? Other than that, it was okay. Cool. Yay! Now you could, instead of playing the right hand on the right, you could play this on the floor tom and kind of like simulate double bass. But my floor tom is my tabletop, so we're not doing that. 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, so this is way better than I can't talk while doing this, than it was 2 days ago, which is great. So going 5 clicks slower is helping out. It's giving more space for my brain to basically be able to process like what's happening next. So I'm not just reading the measure I'm on, but I'm also looking at the measure ahead. 2, 1, 2, ready, and sometimes multiple measures ahead, so I can plan accordingly. And I'm actually working on some play-alongs that are going to help with that kind of sight reading, so stay tuned. Cool, 2 more charts. So far, manageable. Mostly technically proficient. Just some reading errors every now and then, but you know, hooked on phonics did not work for me. Just to be expected. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Ugh, my back is sore apparently this morning. I feel like I'm like this while doing it. I think I need to adjust my mic stand a little bit so I don't feel like I need to move to the side. Okay, here we go. Old age. 2, 1, 2. Last chart. Okay, so way better than it was 2 days ago, so yay, we're making progress on it. Okay, so still plenty to work on with it, but it was mostly technically proficient, and I felt like I was making progress. Yeah. Okay, now let's stretch and massage. So, first stretch, it's going to stretch the sides of my forearms. So take my sticks, hold them, palms facing up, pull in, push through. I know I went through that fast, don't worry. Under the drumming lessons playlist that's on my home tab, there's a video, This Hand Routine Saved My Drumming, and it gives you better camera angles so you can actually see it. Exactly what I'm doing. As well as some extra stretches that I don't demonstrate because I don't do rotary motions anymore. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm, so I'm pulling back like this a little bit. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go on the wall, the deeper the stretch. Don't put all your weight into it. Don't pull hard. When you're doing this, you're just giving it a little gentle back. Pull back. You're not like, this is not like a test of your bicep strength in your left arm. And now I'm going to stretch the top side. So you could do it like this, where you're pulling toward you. Or if you do both at the same time, then it allows you just to stretch it twice as fast. And then I'm going to do finger stretch. After that, I'll do a quick massage routine, and then we'll get into the next pattern, which instead of playing pattern 41.1, thank you for the like, I'm going to play pattern? What? Saturn? No. Pattern 46. Brain, it's still buffering, I think. Okay, so next one, finger stretch. It's just one of those days. And next. Ooh, for some reason my index finger's tight. Why? Maybe it's too much using my mouse yesterday. I was working on more play-alongs and whatnot. I don't know. Who knows? ASMR? Enjoy. And last one. So now the massage routine. So what this is doing, I'm using my thumb to massage on top, my fingers to massage underneath. Ooh, and I'm just working my way up and down the forearm. After I do this, we'll massage the hand, then the fingers, and then the next limb independence pattern that we are trying to learn. The Samba one. The very open Samba one. The one that I played at the end of the stream 2 days ago is like your classic, played as double stops on the snare and the ride, but this one is way more open. Okay, switching arms. You notice I'm using a couple of different techniques to just kind of get a thorough approach on the forearms. And now I'm massaging the hands. What I'm doing here is I'm doing thumb massaging, and then the fingers massage the backside of the hands. Advice for lack of focus and snare line, lack of respect for leadership. Elaborate on lack of respect for leadership. The reason why I'm asking you to do that is because sometimes it's like this is not pointing fingers or anything, just saying sometimes, for some groups, it's the leader demands respect without reciprocating it, and that can create some issues. So, yeah, I'm curious what you mean by that. Base the tip. But lack of focus, I mean, like, what are your short, mid, and long-term goals as a group and as individuals? And are they in alignment? So sometimes, like, the instructor or the center snare or whatever will have, like, here's what I think we should do for the goal, and that does not align with what everybody else wants to do. And that doesn't go well, because you'll be like, as a leader, you'll be like pulling people along, trying to get them to align with your goals, and it's just never going to happen. There's just going to be just this constant butting of heads and collision that's not going to work. You'll take responsibility for being a little harsh sometimes, but getting back respect the right way is what you're trying to do. Yeah, so that is going to require probably twice as long for the amount of respect that you need to demonstrate to them as it took for being harsh, to use your word. So let's say, like, for the last, just using arbitrary numbers, let's say for the last month you were harsh on a group. It's probably going to take at least 2 months to, like, of consistently modeling, hey, I apologize for that, I'm moving on, before they're going to, like, believe you and go, okay, this is the new approach. So one of the things that you can do, is an option at least, is you can say, I apologize for being harsh on you. I'm going to make efforts to change. I don't expect you to believe me. The words that I'm saying, I hope that the actions that I demonstrate over time will align with the words that I am saying right now. And let's move forward together and try and work together to like improve as a group. And then I can improve as a leader. That is an option. Another option is you can skip that conversation and just go straight to, I'm going to model what I should have been doing and would like to do from here on out. But the biggest thing that I did as like a caption head or as a section leader or whatever was anything I asked of my peers or my students or whatever, I would do it as well. So for example, one of the things that I brought up before a lot is there are instructors who will like sit in the shade drinking their lemonade, and they're doing that while like the drumline is like doing strength and conditioning stuff to like improve their ability to march and whatnot. And so what I did as a caption head is I would do all of the strength and conditioning exercises with them and like encourage them like, hey, let's push through this. Come on. Like we would do laps going backwards and whatnot, like to like running backwards to work on our like calves and ability to like push off while marching backwards. And so I would be at the front of the pack, and when I would finish, I'd go back to whoever's last and like run with them, and was constantly trying to model the behaviors that I wanted to see in the drumline. And that was both on and off the field. So like on the field, like I was focused and I was like, hey, come on, like this is what the expectations are. This is what we're doing today. You don't need to focus on about like relationship drama or things going on outside of this field. Right now, we're just focusing on this. I'm doing the same thing. And it's okay to have like high expectations of people, but you don't need to do it in a way that is like rude. You can still be compassionate and whatnot. There was only one time with like the last drum that I taught at for a few years where like they all came completely unprepared and they did not meet expectations at all for learning the music. And I had spent all weekend working on getting the show revisions to them a week prior to rehearsal. And I actually skipped out on like family time to like, hey, I said I was going to meet this deadline, so I'm going to meet this deadline, and I did. And when they showed up a week later and they like did not like look at the music and had not prepared it, I was like, okay, well, you all did not meet the expectations, and right now you're wasting my time. And I gave up family time to make sure that I would meet the expectations from you and to deliver the music to you on time. And so I'm going to go now. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to go spend time with the family that I basically bailed out on. And what I want you to do is like actually practice what you said you were going to do. And so like that kind of very firm boundary setting and like expectation setting is okay, but you don't have to do it in a way that's like, you guys suck. Like, why did you do this? You're horrible. But like, you don't have to do that at all. Just lay down, here's the expectation, you didn't do it. But in terms of like a focus thing, I mentioned this at the beginning, it comes with goal alignment, and you got to have those short, mid, long-term goals. Like the short-term goals, like what are we working on today? Midterm goal might be like, what do we want to finish by the end of this week or the end of this month? Long-term goal is like, what do we want to do by the end of the season? Like what's our ability level, etc. And if your goals are not in alignment with the rest of the group, somebody's got to change, or it's not going to work well for the rest of the season, generally speaking. So one of the ways that you can motivate people is showing lot clips or like show recordings of like really good drum lines that are like in your level. So if like you're a high school group, show like, hey, here's Dartmouth High School like throwing down in the lot. Or here's Arcadia or whoever, like any group that you want to think of, like, isn't that motivating to see somebody else that's also in our like same competitive division? Like, do you want to be able to do that? And that can sometimes get people who are like uninterested in improving over time. That can get them motivated to go, oh, I can see people who are like me doing the same thing. I want to align with like the goals of leadership. And then sometimes the goals of the leadership do not align with the goals of the students, and they're not willing to switch to that. And either the leader can change their goals, or the leader can just like accept that this is not going to happen and move on. So like I have quit a program after a few years of teaching there, where like the goals of the students shifted towards, no, we don't want to actually improve. We just want to become popular in our school. And it was a weird shift where they just wanted to perform with the cheerleaders and like get the adoration of their peers and whatnot. And they're like, but we don't care about playing good anymore. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't align with what I'm trying to do. Peace. So yeah, just to like be clear with it, there's not like this, here's the silver bullet that you're going to do, and is all of a sudden you're going to have alignment of goals and whatnot. So long-winded answer. But Drummer's Journey on Instagram, it takes time, whatever it's going to be, whether it's the goals or the like regaining respect, etc. But it is worth it, and you will improve as a leader if you can learn how to like model respect and like respectful ways of communicating and setting high expectations. And it is a learning process where you're gonna fail as a leader. And the thing is, like, are you going to be able to learn from that and grow from it and admit to those failures? And if so, then over time you will get better as a leader. But if not, if there's like ego involved, then things aren't going to go well in the long run, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was a long answer. I hope that helped in some way. Good question though. It is something that I had to learn how to do. The expectations that I had of the students that I worked with when I first started teaching, which was my senior year of high school. This was 22 years ago. I had to realize, not everybody wants to become like DCI, center snare, section leader, etc. Some people are just here for fun, and I had to like quickly learn it's not about the goals that I have. I can't expect my students to have the exact same ones, if that makes sense. Like the idea of setting goals, making sure we're on the same page. Yeah, I mean, have a heart-to-heart with it, and then like also take time to have fun. So like, we would, during like stretching blocks in the morning, we would just like talk about life and whatnot while we're just like doing our conditioning or stretching, etc. So it doesn't need to be all business like 120% of the time or something. Like, show that you're human. And that can also go a long way. Okay, so the pattern that I'm working on right now is this. So with your feet, it's okay, so this is very basic. Now what I would normally recommend is like do this as a knock on 3. But with this drum trigger, it sounds like a rim shot. So you could just... So this is the ostinato, and the right hand is going to read through some charts at 160, okay? So that's the pattern I'm playing. So I'm going to go back to my home tab of YouTube. I'm going to scroll down to the limb independent section, and I'm going to go at 160, so in the straight drum charts as opposed to the swung ones, from 160 to 240. I'm just going to pick another set of charts. I'm going to go random today, so we'll just go ahead and do, I don't know, 1 through 5. Sure. And inside of here, we can pick a BPM, 160. It counts off. Again, this is the part that just keeps going. 1, 2, ready, and... So I lost track of where 3 was at multiple times on that first chart. I need to focus. 1, 2, ready, and. One, two, here we go. Why didn't hit the snare? I clearly hit the drum. A 1, 2, ready, and. So I had a little hiccup there, because mentally I was like, ooh, I should play chart 1 again, just to see if it's a little bit better, and then I screwed up because I was not thinking about playing. Okay, so let's try the first chart again. 1, 2, ready, and. I just gotta focus. We'll see if this sounds better. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, so it was better, but like, I don't know how I feel about that one. It was mostly technically proficient, but like also borderline meh on some of the patterns. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say meh, just so that gives me one more rep that I have to go through before I can graduate from. But I'm making progress on it, so I just gotta like people to focus on playing that one. It's so open for like a samba pattern. For the ostinato, it's interesting though. This one. Okay, so this one, the Baião pattern. So this is a variation on the Baião, so I'll show you what that is in a moment. Doing at 180, okay? So the Baião, right, left, both, right, left, both, right, left, both, right, left, both. So this one is a bop, but the way that you're reading it is you're reading it on the right hand, while you fill in the left hand. with ghost notes, okay? It's good to hold a groove. You can't follow it with the left hand. Yeah, it's a challenge. Dom's book, so this book that I'm going through with like all these different patterns, he'll spend like 4 years working on it with the jazz students at ASU, and some of the students don't even get all the way through the book. So we're going at a fast pace with this. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. You joined your middle school band 3 years ago? Learn how to play drum set, but still haven't. Junior high band director. Didn't feel like putting it together. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, the home tab, actually, which is where I'm going to, has a bunch of stuff that you can use to learn this. We're playing this at 180. Okay, so if you scroll into the home tab, this is where you can find literally over 2,000 play-alongs and over 15 hours of drumming tips. So like if you do rudimental stuff, here's chop stuff like shopping sprees or cheesy poofs or whatever. There's over 1,000 grid variations. This is where I'm practicing limb independence, where you can practice. If you do marching bass, check out that section. There's drumline cadences. This is where you can work on your technique. And then here's where you can find over 15 hours of drumming tips and then a dozen lessons right now. And then these live streams where it's basically office hours where I'm practicing stuff I'm not good at yet, and you can ask some questions and whatnot. So if you go up to here, so if you play snare, then yeah, check out the technique exercises. I also march snare. So technique exercises, check out the grid variations, the chop stuff. There's enough to keep you busy for years, literally. But under the limb independence, if you're trying to learn limb independence and like be able to play the drum kit, every single one of these play-alongs has, as the second video inside of it, this video, how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. Highly recommend taking a look at that. It's got a series of steps to work through to be able to develop limb independence. Right now, I'm on the more advanced steps where I'm actually reading through full-on charts while doing this. You wouldn't start here with this. Start with the steps in here, the very basic stuff. In fact, I'm going to work on some very basic stuff in 2 more patterns, I think, where I'm like learning a pattern I have not played before and I'm not good at yet. So we're going to go all the way back to step 1. So stay tuned for that. But this video can help you to learn limb independence on the kit. Let's just go to another random set of charts. That way I'm just practicing sight reading. So we're doing this at 180. And so I'm going into the timestamps and click. Do. Okay, so Baião pattern, right, left, right, both. 1, 2, ready, and boom, 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 boom. Reading the pattern on the right hand on the ride, filling in ghost notes. 2, ready, and. Two, 1, 2, ready, and. Same song to Love Boat? Oh, I don't know. I don't know that song, I don't think. 1, 2, ready, and. Relax technique, folks. I just totally like missed the cymbal. I wasn't paying attention where I was hitting. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Oh no! That one's so hard. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so it was like mostly technically proficient, and then I just like had myself on a couple of the parts. So kind of like the last one, I'm gonna label it as meh, so I have to spend some more time with this one to work on it. I did have fun with it, and I felt like I was making progress. So like how I felt overall was positive, but like it's just like it's too much of like rolling of the dice. Like, is this chart gonna sound good? No. So yeah, we'll keep working on it. Okay. So, skipping again the ones that I'm good at, I'm going to the next one that I need to work on. So, number 50. What is this one? Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. Actually, I'll be right back. Give me, like, 1 minute. Okay. So, number 50. This one is like, it does a number on my foot. So wish me luck with this one. So this pattern, we're playing a swung shuffle on foot. And I just get so tired doing it. So last time we played through it at like 300 beats a minute, right? Yeah. Also known as 100. Okay. So we're going to go to... Wait. No. That's 52. Yeah, 100. Okay. Still the same number, just a different line. All right, so I'm going to go back to my home tab. And this is a swung pattern. So I'm going to scroll down. And we're going to the limb independent section. And we're going into the swung charts. It's the same charts, but the play along that you hear in your headphones is different in terms of like the interpretation of it. So again, just going to like a random set of charts. I don't think I played 36 through 40 today. Keep switching it up when you're practicing, so that way you're actually sight reading while doing this. So 100 counts off. 2, ready, and so ding, ding, ding. Okay, so this is what my hand and my left foot is doing. Hey, you found the exact same snare drum that I got. It's also red. It's my wife's kit. It's prettier than my black kit. 2. Okay, so shuffle on the foot. Okay, on the first line, I'm just gonna switch it over to quarter notes on the right foot. So your typical ding-ding-ding, 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. But oh boy, that shuffle, it gets real tiring after a while. Oh, 1, 2, oh, 1, 2, here we go. So this one actually permutates every other line. Now, the next line is the same rhythms, but over by an 8th note, which is called permutating. Sorry, it's hard to play and talk. So the next line, the last line, is going to be what I'm playing right now, but over by an 8th note, right here. So it's a weird way to work on it, but if you're playing like a short long where you're playing and you hear the exact same phrase shifted over by an 8th note, like melodically it's like, oh, that's interesting, but it, like playing it feels really weird. Almost forgot to shuffle. Okay, 2 more charts. So far my right foot has not fallen off, so, you know, that's good. I hate when it detaches, don't you? It's just like, hey, foot, you're supposed to stay on my leg. Why are you running away? 1, 2, 1, 2, Alright, last chart. My left foot's actually also getting tired. So my primary is like I march, snare drum, and then I play concert stuff, and like less than 1% of my time has been on kit, so my feet are like not where my hands are at all. Foot slip. My foot like hiccuped at the very end. So it was mostly technically proficient playing through it. My both feet are actually very tired. They're worn out. I'm making progress on it. Yay. Cool. We'll continue to work on that next time. Okay, so this one, it's a brand new one. I've literally never played this. So this is going to be rough. So like I was mentioning that video, drumming tips number 50, which is like how to develop limb independence, has a series of steps of like things to work on to be able to get the limb independence on here. And what I'm going to do now is take some steps back to be able to do this. So I'm going to go back to the charts. I'm not actually going to play through them, but I'm going to show you the music so you'll know what I'm playing. So if I scroll down to here on the limb independent stuff, there's like all the charts that I was just playing through, but there's these permutation things up here. And I'm going to pull up number 5, the swung one. I got a metronome going. And what I'm going to play, instead of ding, 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 is I'm going to play this. Okay, so what is that? Like if I were playing boom, 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 boom. So this Baião pattern. That same ride pattern, instead of treating those as 16th notes or as 8th notes, depending on what you're playing, they're now triplets. What? Da 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 da. So with the hi-hat on 2 and 4, it's going to line up with da 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 triplet triple da 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 da. Which is, you know, not easy. So that is a thing that's going to stay the same. And then ideally, what I'm going to be able to play is short on the snare drum and long on the bass drum. Am I going to be able to do that today? No. No, not even close. Okay, what are we going to do, though? We're going to attempt to at least get through some of these patterns with the hand. Okay, I'm going to go to the next measure. Can't talk. Okay, next measure. Ah! No. No, Yeah, no, that's right. No. Sorry, this is like messing with my brain so much. Da, 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 da. So is that on? Yeah, okay, so I was putting it on 3 rather than and of 2. So sorry. Like I said, I can't do this one yet. In a month, it'll be really cool. Until then, ugh. Okay, so it goes in that space. Ooh, it's weird. There's 3. Oh, dang. So I'm trying to do this measure right here. So the second measure of the third line. There we go. Okay, the last measure of the ones. So if you're thinking of the 1 and a 2 and it's on the second note of that. It's a little weird. Okay, so let's try the ones. I'm gonna do two times through each one of these measures. So we're gonna do this line and then this line with the metronome. Nope. Let me try this line again from, gosh, my mouse. Stop it. So this line, I'm going to start from right here, and we'll try and go through this. Yeah. Okay, so I got to do that again. I'm going to do the whole 2 lines here, and then we'll try doing through the 2s. No! Still gotta keep working on it. All right, let's give my brain a little break on this. Let me try doing the 2s patterns. I'm just gonna loop them until I feel like the measure is comfortable. So this particular exercise, it's going through 2s, and then it goes through 3s, 4s, 5s, and then once it gets to the next page, then it just keeps adding more and more to this. So this is an extended version of some of the other permutations and whatnot. But there's several permutations for 8th note, for triplet, for 16th note, so you can sit here and grind out some of these patterns. And then once you can get through these down, then you can actually start getting into the charts. But this is taking a few steps back from where we're just playing, because I suck at this right now. But hence why this is a practice stream. So this is 2 loops. Measure 2. Oh, I can't talk while doing this. Ah! No. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, that's weird. Why do I do this? Oh my. Last line. Okay. Okay, so that one, duh, 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 duh. It fills in the space in between those, but it has the pickup on the release. It's weird. Okay, so this is measure 2 of the last line. Ah! There we go. Woo-wee! Sheet music and learning how learn how to play the drums like this is not the way. You gotta have fun, man, and play free. I have a doctorate in music education, my guy. I think I know what I'm doing. Thank you for your insights, though. Okay, so the third measure of that last line. Ugh. It's so weird with that 2 and 4. Ugh. I need a mental break from that. Yeah, so Zach, like, I get that you're trying to help, but, like, you don't know what my goals are and you don't know what my experience is. So, like, the point of this is to, like, work on limb independence. So I'm working out of a specific book to do that, and this is just one of the ways to practice it. So the way that you're describing is just one way to practice, and you don't know what I'm clearly working on. So I'd highly recommend just focusing on, like, you know, improving yourself, which you can do using the literally thousands of, like, exercises that are on my home tab and drumming tips. So there's over 2,000 exercises in here. But coming into my stream and, like, lecturing me about what I'm supposed to do, it just shows you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know what my goals are. So, like, don't do that to people, my dude. You're just wasting everybody's time. Anyways, okay, let's try this. Why is it not loading? Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try going from the beginning right here and just seeing if I can get this. Sorry, my snare is, like, not hitting. Let me adjust this. All right, let's try the twos. Oh no. me try this last line again. Ugh, it's melting my brain. No! Ugh. I'm gonna stop it here. Hey. Okay, so this again is the stuff that's like on the home tab. If you scroll into here, this is the grind that I mentioned in the video that's here. So how to develop independence. So the steps that I'm on, like step 1 is literally just like, hey, I'm gonna just like play the ostinato, and just trying to get that down. So the ostinato that I was just playing through, a very weird one. It might take you, I don't know, maybe even a week just to get like comfortable playing that with a metronome. Then step 2 is you're actually going into these like permutation patterns that I was going through. So I was working on pattern number 5. The one that I have on the screen right here is variation number 1. And just sitting with each one of these measures until it starts to feel comfortable with the different patterns. Now, the one that I'm working on right now is a short-long between short on snare and the long on the bass drum and whatnot. So the way that I'm working on this is focusing on getting the technical down with the snare drum, and then I'm going to do the same patterns with the bass drum to be able to go through this, and then do short-long where I'm playing, okay, eighth notes on the snare drum and the long notes on the bass drum. Once I get that down, I'm then going into the next set next step, which is going through the charts and starting to just like do one measure at a time, one phrase at a time, etc. And so as you start to go through the different steps in here, it eventually gets to the point where you're playing them much more musically. And then like the final step is, okay, now I can jump in and out of different types of limb independence patterns. So like I'm going to play this line as pattern number like 5, and then this line as like pattern number 9, etc. So the ability to be able to switch back and forth between these for like different musical phrases is like ultimately where I want to go to be able to make this much more musical. But with the pattern that I'm working on, like it sounds terrible right now because I'm currently on step 2 out of 7. So is this going to take a while to like improve? Yes. But you got to get Starbucks for your wife. Hey, Dennis, I hope you have a good day. I appreciate you stopping in. Matane. But yeah, so like as Zach was like rudely like trying to say here that this is not like musical, like that is just an ignorant way of thinking about this. Like it's the I'm a self-taught drummer and reading music because I can't do it is not good. Like that's just not the way. It's a very immature way of looking at music. So the goal here is to get us so that you can play the ink on the page as like the bare minimum, and then ideally when working on this stuff to get it to musical. I'm not there yet with the majority of these. So the ones that are green here are musical, and like I can play this and I'd feel comfortable like recording this and performing it. But all these other ones that are just the ink on the page, my goal is to eventually get all these ones that are technically proficient to musical working on this. So when you're practicing this stuff, like you got to sit through the meh and the needs a lot of work phases to get to the technically proficient. But then to get it to the next level, you actually have to put a lot more time into it. And so this is what I've been working on for months and whatnot, trying to go through Dom's book. And this spreadsheet helps me like keep track of like how am I doing across all these different times that I've been playing through these different patterns and whatnot. It's a great way to practice, but it is tedious to go through this. So the thing that you are misunderstanding with your comment is thinking that this is the end goal. This is not the end goal. So again, going into the like streams of people who are I'm literally practicing. Like you don't know what my end goal is, and you clearly don't know what practicing looks like. So I'd highly recommend spending some time looking at the home tab. If you go past all these like thousands of free exercises and you go into the tips and lessons section, there's over 15 hours of tips that I've shared in here. And then there's some like drumming lessons and whatnot that are like the more scripted ones. One of the ones that I'd highly recommend taking a look at based on your comment and your misunderstanding of what I'm doing is this one. I'm a pro drummer, but practice like a beginner. Why? And then I'll explain some of the thought processes behind like what I'm doing in basically these office hours where I'm practicing live. But tomorrow I'm going to be working on Blue Devil's 1996 shopping spree. And then 2 days from now, we'll be back on the limb independent stuff. And this one that I was just working on, we'll probably be working on for like another month or two because it's rough. But I appreciate people stopping in, and I hope you enjoy these like resources and whatnot. And then hopefully seeing these like practice sessions where like I'm actively working on stuff I'm not good at. I hope that's motivating for you to see that like even though I can play much more complicated stuff and execute it much better on like a set of like drums or like on pad or whatever, I'm still working on a lot of things that I'm not good at yet. So like there's varying degrees of ability on different things. And with his limb independent stuff, some of them I'm like, yeah, that bops. And then others I'm like, woo, I would not want to perform that in front of anybody. But I am with these 400 plus live streams. But anyways, I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to get ready for Dishonored. We're in the DLC. So if you're interested in any of the gaming stuff, you can just find that just by clicking on the header here. But I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And yeah, I look forward to getting back into the grind on that particular last pattern. It was rough, but I like that. It tickles my brain in a way that like just makes me want to practice. But yeah, hope you have a good day. Goodbye.